Top 10 Most Violent Towns in the United States that every retiree should avoid. That's not just the title, it's your warning label. Retirement is supposed to be about early morning walks, coffee on the porch, and not dodging crime tape on your way to the grocery store. Yet some towns across the U.S. are quietly earning reputations that would make even the bravest retirees pack up and run, or at least power walk, in the opposite direction. And here's the kicker. These places don't always look dangerous. In fact, some of them come with scenic views, charming downtowns, and real estate agents who can spin a crime stat like it's a Yelp review. But beneath the surface, sky-high violent crime rates, overworked police departments, and local headlines that sound like scenes from a crime drama. We are talking assaults, robberies, and more sirens than sunsets. If you're banking on a peaceful, affordable retirement and think you're too savvy to be caught off guard, think again. Because some of these towns are marketed as hidden gems, when in reality, they're more like hidden landmines. So before you sell the house, pack the RV, or start Googling best towns for retirees, you need to watch this. I'm going to walk you through the top 10 U.S. towns too dangerous for retirement. And trust me, number 3 alone will have you triple-checking your zip code. Welcome to Restful Wealth, where we help you retire smart, safe, and with your sense of humor intact. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss future videos that just might save your retirement, or at least your sanity. Now, let's kick off this countdown with a place that proves size doesn't matter, at least when it comes to crime rates. Number 10, Saginaw, Michigan. A town of just over 43,000 residents. Might look like your average small Midwestern city, but don't let the sleepy skyline and friendly street names fool you. This place punches way above its weight when it comes to violent crime. It's like a bantamweight boxer with heavyweight fists, and unfortunately, those punches land on the community. Once upon a time, Saginaw was humming with industrial pride. A General Motors boomtown, solid jobs, strong neighborhoods, and that Rust Belt work ethic. But then the factories slowed, the jobs disappeared, and what was once a symbol of blue-collar stability became a case study in economic decline. And where opportunity dries up, crime too often fills the vacuum. According to the latest stats, Saginaw's violent crime rate hovers around 25 incidents per 1,000 residents, which might not mean much until you realize that's higher than many major cities. So yes, a retiree walking down the block here might be statistically more at risk than someone strolling through parts of Detroit, Philly, or Chicago. That's not the vibe you want in your golden years. Sure, the town has its defenders, and to be fair, Saginaw does have community programs, youth outreach, and even the occasional mural touting peace and unity, but gritty charm only takes you so far when you're checking over your shoulder on your way to buy groceries. If you're the kind of retiree who enjoys calm, quiet, and the occasional potluck dinner, Saginaw might be a bit too spicy. Great for street cred, not so much for street safety. Better to visit during daylight with a group tour and maybe a local escort. Stay tuned. If Saginaw is only number 10, you can imagine what's coming next. Number 9. Alexandria, Louisiana. A town that should have been a southern charmer but somehow took a left turn into the do not recommend zone for retirees. Nestled along the Red River, Alexandria has all the makings of a postcard-perfect place. Historic buildings, magnolia trees, and that slow Louisiana drawl. But peel back the curtain and you'll find a very different kind of southern hospitality, one that includes frequent headlines about shootings, assaults, and armed robberies. Let's be real. Retirees usually want to downshift into a slower pace, not duck and weave like they're in a Bourne movie. But in Alexandria, safety is a daily calculation. While the town boasts retirement communities, they're more equipped for emergency drills than potluck dinners. If you're hoping to spend your golden years playing bingo without a panic button nearby, this might not be your best bet. The stats don't lie. Violent crime in Alexandria is about 18.8 per 1,000 residents, meaning your odds of becoming a victim are more than twice the national average. That's not just unlucky, that's planning to lose at safety roulette. It doesn't help that the local economy is on shaky ground. Unemployment, Underfunded public services and poverty all work together to create the kind of environment where crime thrives, and not the good kind, like clever heists in movies. We're talking real-world danger that makes you think twice before taking out the trash after 6 p.m. And while quaint is a word often thrown around for southern towns, Alexandria doesn't quite fit. You can't really call a place quaint when folks are triple locking their doors and installing floodlights brighter than a football stadium. In short, Alexandria may be rich in history, but in terms of retirement living, it's more red flag than red carpet. Number 8. Pine Bluff, Arkansas, where the population may be shrinking, but the crime rates are still holding strong. If you are a retiree dreaming of a cozy southern town with a porch swing, sweet tea, and peace of mind, well, Pine Bluff might offer 2 out of 3. The swing and the tea? Sure. That peace of mind? Not so much. Despite its modest size, fewer than 40,000 residents, Pine Bluff has earned a big reputation for big trouble. In fact, it consistently ranks among the highest per capita for violent crime in the entire United States. We're talking shootings, burglaries, and assaults as regular fixtures of daily life. In Pine Bluff, it's not about whether there's a police siren in the distance. It's about how many. So what's going on? A mix of long-term economic struggle, generational poverty, and under-resourced public services have created a recipe that's anything but retirement-friendly. And while there are efforts underway to revitalize the city, like downtown beautification and youth programs, the results haven't exactly caught up to the optimism. Residents still face a violent crime rate nearly 6 times the national average. Now, let's be fair. Pine Bluff has history, heart, and folks who genuinely want to see it succeed. But let's also be honest. Retiring here means trading in morning birdwatching for keeping an eye on the Neighborhood Watch app. Unless your idea of golden years includes regularly reviewing home security footage, this probably isn't the small-town haven you had in mind. If you are seeking that peaceful, porch-sitting retirement lifestyle, you might want to swipe left on Pine Bluff. It's a tough town to grow old in, both literally and statistically. Number 7. Cleveland, Ohio, the birthplace of rock and roll, home of die-hard sports fans, and a city where many retirees might want to keep their car keys and pepper spray handy. Yes, Cleveland has charm, culture, and an impressive skyline, but if you're dreaming of a peaceful retirement, it might not be music to your ears. Let's start with the obvious. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is iconic, but unfortunately, it doesn't come with noise-canceling earbuds for the other sounds Cleveland is known for, namely police sirens and the occasional helicopter circling overhead. Especially on the east side, where violent crime has become a chronic issue, the only thing louder than the music might be the 2 a.m. pop-pop of neighborhood disputes that didn't end with a handshake. Cleveland's violent crime rate hovers around 17.1 per 1,000 residents, and while that might not sound terrifying on paper, it translates into a daily game of stay alert. High rates of assault, robbery, and property crime make everyday errands feel more like side missions in a video game. Now, you might hear folks talk about gentrification and revitalization. And yes, some neighborhoods have had facelifts. Trendy cafes, yoga studios, and boutique stores have popped up. But here's the kicker. Those rising rents often push fixed-income retirees into the exact areas where crime still runs rampant. So instead of sipping matcha in a safe, walkable neighborhood, you may find yourself clutching your purse while hustling to the corner store. Cleveland's got potential. It really does. There's art, food, waterfront views, but for now, it's too inconsistent to bank your retirement piece on. One street feels like a Sunday picnic. The next, like the opening scene of a crime documentary. Bottom line, you deserve calm, not chaos. And while Cleveland rocks, in this context, it also rolls the dice a little too often with your safety. Number 6. Little Rock, Arkansas. A state capital, cultural hub, and unfortunately, a city where your retirement might come with a complimentary police scanner. Don't let the name fool you. There's nothing little about the crime problem here. If anything, Little Rock brings capital C crime to the capital city. Statistically speaking, violent crime in Little Rock tops 20 incidents per 1,000 residents, and that's just what gets reported. Unofficially? Let's just say if you're planning to spend your golden years here, you might want to swap your golden retriever for a guard dog. The city has long grappled with a strong gang presence, repeat offenders, and a justice system playing a never-ending game of catch-up. Some neighborhoods can feel fine during the day, but change personalities faster than a plot twist on a crime drama by nightfall. In other words, Little Rock is the kind of town where GPS might guide you into a trendy coffee shop and out past a boarded-up liquor store. Sure, there are revitalized districts. Downtown has been working overtime to spruce things up with new restaurants, theaters, and riverfront events. But here's the rub. Those safer pockets come with higher price tags and are still not entirely immune to crime spillover. It's the urban version of paying extra for a seat on the plane, only to get stuck near the bathroom. Let's be honest, retirement should be about relaxing, not researching crime maps before your morning walk. In Little Rock, leaving the porch light off might not be brave, it might be a rookie mistake. So unless your idea of peaceful living includes regularly checking security footage or memorizing police non-emergency numbers, you might want to let this capital pass you by. We are halfway through the countdown. And if you have made it this far, thank you for sticking with us. We know talking about crime stats isn't exactly sipping pina coladas on the beach, but when it comes to your safety and retirement future, knowledge really is power. And a little sarcasm doesn't hurt either. If you are finding this video helpful, surprising, or even just wildly eye-opening, do us a favor. Drop a comment below and let us know, which of these towns surprised you the most so far? Or better yet, which city do you think might land at number 1? And, if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to Restful Wealth, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the smartest retirement moves, biggest red flags, and best places to stretch your budget without sacrificing peace of mind. Alright, buckle up. We're heading into the top 5 most violent towns in the US that every retiree should avoid, and trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. Let's keep going. Number 5. Birmingham, Alabama. Where the barbecue is smoky, the history runs deep, and unfortunately, the crime rates are higher than the humidity in July. It's a place where Southern hospitality is still alive and well, but you might need to enjoy it from behind a reinforced front door. Once a proud epicenter of the civil rights movement, Birmingham carries a rich legacy of resilience and change. But fast forward to today, and it's also made headlines for a much less inspiring reason: sky-high violent crime rates, especially homicides and aggravated assaults. In fact, Birmingham has ranked among the top U.S. cities for murder rates in recent years, with 2024 seeing one of its deadliest stretches in over a decade. So yes, the history here is powerful, but not always in the way retirees are looking for. The suburbs, some are doing just fine. But retirees on a fixed income usually can't afford the posh, gated communities with private patrols and HOA fees bigger than their monthly Social Security checks. That leaves many eyeing the more affordable parts of town, which, unfortunately, are also the ones most impacted by violent crime and drug-related activity. Add to that a city struggling to fully fund public safety programs, and what you get is a stressful backdrop for what should be your stress-free years. It's not that Birmingham lacks potential. It's got scenic views, cultural festivals, even jazz in the park. But when you're constantly checking over your shoulder on a walk to the grocery store, that scenic route starts to lose its charm. Bottom line, if your idea of retirement includes front porch swings and a peaceful stroll to the farmer's market, Birmingham might deliver the porch, but the peace is a little harder to find. So if you are all about relaxing, not reacting to police tape in your neighborhood, it might be wise to keep looking. Number 4. Detroit, Michigan. Detroit, a city with soul, rhythm, and one of the most compelling comeback stories in recent memory. It's the birthplace of Motown, the proud engine of America's auto industry, and now, one of the top places retirees should avoid if they value safety and sanity. Yep, the Motor City still has some serious bumps in the road, and we're not just talking potholes. Detroit's been working overtime to rebrand itself. New restaurants, tech startups, art festivals, fancy condos sprouting in the downtown corridor. It's all very shiny. But venture a few blocks outside those gentrified zones, and you'll find a very different Detroit. one still grappling with violent crime that lingers like a bad remix of Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Let's talk numbers. Detroit's violent crime rate remains one of the highest in the country, with a heavy concentration of shootings, robberies, and aggravated assaults, particularly in the city's underserved neighborhoods. Sure, some areas have seen investment in infrastructure improvements, but let's not pretend that safety has spread evenly across the map. For retirees, especially those on a budget, the math doesn't favor peace and quiet. Affordable housing? Yes, but often in zip codes where emergency sirens are more common than church bells. Retirees looking to stretch their dollar may find themselves stretching their luck instead. And while there is no denying that Detroit is a city in transition, it is still not quite ready for your golden years. Unless your idea of tranquility includes constant vigilance and upgrading your home security system to something Batman would use. To be fair, Detroit is fighting the good fight. It has heart, it has grit, but retirement is the time to exhale, not constantly brace for impact. So if you are craving calm mornings, friendly neighbors, and a city where your biggest decision is between golf or gardening, Detroit might be better left for a weekend visit, not a long-term lease. And guess what? We are down to the final three. And trust me, things are about to get even more intense. Number 3. Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis may be the home of the blues, but for retirees, this city hits more than just emotional notes. It lands squarely in the danger zone. Welcome to Memphis, Tennessee, where the barbecue is world-class, the music is legendary, and the crime stats are, well, record-breaking, just not in a good way. Yes, this city gave us Elvis, B.B. King, and some of the richest musical history in the country. But today, Memphis ranks among the top U.S. cities for homicides per capita, with violent crime consistently dominating the headlines. It's the kind of place where you can go from humming Heartbreak Hotel to actually needing hotel security real quick. Police here are doing their best, but they are stretched thinner than a diner pancake during Sunday brunch. The crime problem is deep-rooted and stubborn, and progress is crawling at a pace even a retiree might find slow. And while some neighborhoods are considered safe, you pretty much need a local guide, a highlighter, and a strong Wi-Fi connection to figure out where they are. Let's not forget the car thefts, muggings, and armed robberies that make independent senior living feel more like an extreme sport. If your retirement dream involves not checking your mirrors constantly or avoiding certain intersections after 5 p.m., Memphis might not make the cut. Tourists may come for Graceland, but residents? They are just praying for a little grace and maybe some streetlights that work. In short, unless you are a thrill-seeking retiree with a taser in one hand and a GPS in the other, Memphis is best left to the tour buses and blues fans. Number 2. Monroe, Louisiana. A place that might look like a charming southern postcard, but behind the magnolia trees and lazy river views lies a city with a not-so-lazy crime rate. Think sweet tea meets street crime, and not in a cute Hallmark movie with a twist kind of way. Monroe consistently ranks among the most violent cities in the U.S., and no, that's not the kind of top 10 list you want your retirement town to grace. We're talking about a full-course crime menu. Home invasions, carjackings, and aggravated assaults. Basically the worst possible bingo card for someone looking to live out their golden years in peace. The kicker? Monroe looks like it should be safe. There's a scenic riverfront, historic homes, a touch of southern gentility. But as your grandma probably told you, not everything pretty is peaceful. Monroe is a prime example of how a town can charm you during the day and keep you up at night, wondering if you locked both deadbolts. To make matters worse, the police department is chronically understaffed and stretched thin, trying to juggle escalating crime with limited resources, which means that when things go wrong, help may not arrive as quickly as you'd hope, unless you count the neighbor yelling, "Y'all okay in there?" from across the street. Bottom line? Monroe is a cautionary tale in disguise. A city that looks like sweet gumbo, but bites like cayenne. It may have the porch swings, but you won't be swinging too long if you're constantly checking over your shoulder. And now we've reached the final stop. If Monroe is number 2, brace yourself. Number 1 is where danger truly meets disbelief. Number 1. Bessemer, Alabama. Bessemer may not have the towering skyline of a big city, But statistically, it's more dangerous than many of them, and without the perks. No symphonies, no glitzy downtown, just a violent crime rate of over 30 incidents per 1,000 residents. That's not just rough around the edges, that's life on hard mode. This is a place where a retiree looking for Southern charm might end up getting blindsided, not by the cost of sweet tea, but by gang activity and deeply underfunded law enforcement. It's not the rocking chair and birdwatching kind of South. It's more like, check your six before you leave the driveway territory. Once an industrial hub, Bessemer has been hit hard by economic decline. With high poverty rates and shrinking job opportunities, the city has become a breeding ground for crime and instability. Affordable real estate may tempt some retirees on a budget, but let's be clear. In Bessemer, that low price tag comes with very real trade-offs, like high assault rates and neighbors who own more security cameras than lawn chairs. The sad truth? Bessemer is a glaring reminder that not every low cost of living is worth the cost to your peace of mind. This is one of those towns where even the street signs look like they're trying to leave. So if your retirement goals involve safety, calm, and maybe making it to your morning walk without a helicopter overhead, Bessemer might not be your dream town, unless that dream is a gritty crime drama. Congrats on making it through the list. The top 10 most violent towns in the United States that every retiree should avoid. If there's one major takeaway here, it's this. Retirement should bring peace, not paranoia. While affordability and charm might draw you in, it's the crime stats. The real day-to-day living conditions that tell the full story. A low cost of living isn't a bargain if it comes bundled with break-ins, carjackings, and sky-high assault rates. We've seen how even small towns like Bessemer and Pine Bluff can top the charts for violent crime, while bigger cities like Memphis and Detroit continue to struggle despite efforts to turn the tide. From understaffed police departments to economic decline and gang activity, these are places where retirees deserve better than to live in fear behind deadbolts and security systems. So if you're planning your next chapter, do your research, look beyond the price tag, and choose a place that supports the quality of life you've earned. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, eye-opening, or just a little shocking, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and drop a comment below. Which town surprised you most? Or is there one we missed? And of course, subscribe to Restful Wealth and tap the notification bell so you never miss smart, honest retirement advice designed to help you live better, not just cheaper. Until next time, live simply, dream big, and don't forget the sunscreen.